Is freedom of speech something of the past? Or are there still ways that you can maintain your privacy and independence without losing your business? Governments and their big tech watchdogs believe that companies and individuals will toe the line if they want to stay relevant. And you agree because, well, what other choice do you have? But your business needs to grow its customer base. You need to generate leads, and you can't afford to lose your social media channels, never mind your website. But that's wrong. Freedom of speech is possible. So let's dive exactly into how you can avoid the fact checkers and the thought police the right way and keep your business going strong and your impact powerful without letting go of your entire freedom of speech. Welcome back to Renegade News. I'm your host, Glenn Kowalski. Every week on this channel, we discuss how entrepreneurs and other freedom lovers just like you can build cancel culture businesses, create a bigger impact in their business and the world, and completely break free from the system. How many times have you seen this? And this? I mean, YouTube does it, Google does it, and so does Google Ads, and even your Google Drive is not private anymore. So does freedom of speech really exist? Freedom of speech, or the freedom of expression, allows people or companies to state their opinions regarding various issues without any censorship and obstruction from an authority figure. On paper, it's supposed to be a fundamental human right. But in reality, time and time again, we hear the news of an arrest of someone for their critical opinions of a government and its officials. And we're seeing much more of that recently. Or we start to hear about fines and restrictions imposed upon seeking, receiving, and relying ideas and information. Internet censorship is the control of information that can be viewed by the public on the internet and can be carried out by governments, institutions, and even private organizations. And we're seeing it more and more with private organizations who feel that they have to be activists censoring information that they don't agree with. Censored content can include copyrighted information, harmful or sensitive content, or these days, really anything that doesn't agree with the official narrative. It can be either in the form of blocking a website content or monitoring internet use and access. People and organizations can self-censor for moral or business reasons to meet societal norms or in fear of legal consequences. In the present world, internet censorship remains a major threat to freedom of expression. Governments around the world are engaging in internet censorship for a variety of reasons, and some are more well-intentioned than others are. There are use cases for protecting children, I agree with that. Also from accessing sensitive information. But then there are also authoritative attempts to gate a group of people's access to important information in order to control the narrative. This approach can have far-reaching consequences for local businesses. And while we typically think of internet censorship being controlled by governments, it's commonly used by other organizations like your internet service provider to limit your access to certain sites. In digital marketing, an algorithm is a term that's being tossed around daily, regardless of whether someone really understands what it means or not, and most people probably don't. But each platform has one or multiple different algorithms that they use and they rely on. And marketers have to try and satisfy those algorithms, or they stand the chance of your content or your company being canceled, censored, or pushed down in the results so that you can't make a big impact. Most digital platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, YouTube have adopted the art of artificial intelligence, otherwise known as AI, in implementing this online censorship. And the main goal behind the AI is to assist machines to register language more like a human being would be able to do. Facebook came up with Facebook Artificial Intelligence Researchers, or FAIR, and that can interpret the use of different slang and determine the actual meaning of a word that has different meanings depending on how it's phrased within the content. It is also developing a feature that will have the ability to understand a picture, recognize the individual objects in that picture, as well as their connection. And I've seen this in practice, and it's quite impressive. You want to use that term as to how accurate it can be. Artificial intelligence on YouTube has helped take down about 83% of the videos that they have deleted from their platform. And this technology can spot inappropriate content and directly act without any type of human imposition at all. It also aims at removing content with little or no views to protect their audience from offensive videos. Being one of the most used social platforms, Twitter uses AI technology to scrap out content that may sound racist, one that may contain hate speech, as well as fake and offensive content. And it's not just social media that's censoring this content. Your browser can also cancel your website, online advertising, and blogs. And your business is not just fighting against a censorship problem, but also an SEO ranking basis if the algorithms don't like your content for whatever reason. In the instance of Google, there are not only multiple algorithms at play, but also AI and machine learning. So how do you go and actually battle these machines? And is freedom of speech something that's totally in the past? Or are there ways that you can maintain your privacy and your independence without losing your business? And the first thing to recognize is that the World Wide Web isn't the same everywhere across the world. I mean, technically it's the same network, but internet censorship limits what people around the globe can access. This is a very important point, because not all countries are equal when it comes to internet censorship. Internet censorship is very different around the world, ranging from little to no oversight to a very pervasive control and surveillance. So how can you use this information to benefit your business? You do that by building a bulletproof offshore infrastructure. We've talked a lot about flag theory in a lot of our videos. So what that means is that you can plant different flags in different areas of your life, and one of those areas of your life is your digital footprint. And if you maintain an online presence or you run an online business, you should be using flag theory to make sure that you're well diversified in that domain as well. Common examples like internationalizing your email and your website are very important. Also, owning a .com, .net, .org, .co, or .us domain means that your domain name is subject to US laws, no matter where it's based in the world. And the US government has said that no such domain name is safe from government confiscation, which is why less standardized domain extensions might be something you want to consider. Things like .co.uk or .de or .com.au. All of those may suit your website better if you're worried about the US government in particularly censoring your content. Also, where you host your website is very important. Offshore web hosting services are far superior to those based in the US, where hosting companies will often shut down your website for the slightest infraction involving DMCA or anything else. The country your website is based in also determines which freedom of speech laws that you're subject to. Americans may not know that the United States is actually behind many countries like Suriname and Jamaica when it comes to freedom of the press. So don't rest too easy thinking that your government won't ever come after you. On top of that, an outdated yet still upheld US court decision from the 1990s states that the location of your server is actually the basis of where you're taxed. So that means that an offshore business can fall under US tax law even if the owner is a qualified expat, if you have a US web hosting company rather than having a server offshore. In some countries where the authorities have taken control over the domain name system, the DNS, one can instruct their devices to use DNS servers that have not been compromised. This will give you the freedom to put your content out without the risk of being taken down by the authorities in that particular country. Censorship can also prevent access to certain websites by checking the information contained on the Uniform Resource Locator, the URL. To avoid this, you can use a virtual private network, a VPN, which detours a URL sitting as well as blocking the IP addresses that it uses. VPNs are used to connect to work networks and are normally not blocked. A fast and solid VPN will, however, cost you some more money. Using a Tor browser will enable you to browse anonymously by routing one's web browsing over an encrypted network before hitting a terminus. It enables you to access blocked websites as well. Another means of accessing blocked websites is by the use of a standard proxy. Proxies function similar to virtual private networks, but they may not be as reliable since they can be blocked. Above all else, you want to be working with the right business solution partners, people who believe in freedom of speech like you do, because those people are going to help you plant your digital flag. They're going to be able to build a cancel-proof platform. They're going to be able to build cancel-proof marketing funnels. And if you're doing summits like we do, they can actually build a cancel-proof virtual space. They can also create automatic marketing machines that keep your assets, like your email list, safe and private. Companies can also help you run powerful events that produce leads and sales and give you a bigger impact, and who can create a perpetual flow of leads and sales without wasting time on day-to-day fulfillment and promotion. And those are virtually the only way that you can avoid being a victim of the American and Canadian cancel culture. If you would like a full breakdown on the exact system that we happen to use to help influencers and experts make a bigger impact without worrying about being canceled, we have an upcoming summit that's going to go into all the details. We also have some free information. Click on the link in the description and in the first pinned comment to get some more details on those. And subscribe to our channel for more ways to make your business cancel-proof, create a bigger impact, and stop wasting time on day-to-day soul-crushing activities. I'm Glenn Kowalski from Renegade News, and I'll see you over there.